Hi everyone, and welcome back to my next Gouldian breeding video. So I've got young ones in the nest now, finally. I can hear the parents feeding them, so they're quite raucous at the moment. Now it's actually March now, so it took quite some time. The cockbirds got the nests ready. But it took quite some time for the hens to become ready for breeding. Now, I'm not sure if it's just these females that are used to breeding a bit later, whether it was some kind of environmental conditions. But usually my Gouldians have always sort of bred around the February mark. But yeah, they're about a month behind this year. So I'm not sure. We did have some very hot weather at the end of February. Maybe that sort of triggered them to get into breeding condition, as we hadn't really had a lot of hot weather this year in summer. And here in Melbourne, obviously, the summers get very hot. But of recent years, yeah, we haven't had much of a summer. So I'm not sure what that was, but yeah, it took quite some time for the females' beaks to go dark. And then obviously, you know, they're ready for breeding when their beaks are very black. And I just wanted to show you a couple of things I'm doing right now to give the young ones a little bit more food. Now, I have upped my sprouted seed content to sprouted seed every day feeding. So that really gives you young ones a really good supply of it. So I've shown you earlier what I do. So I just use my sprouted seed jars here. And obviously, I've shown you a video on how I sprout my seed, but there's one little trick that I do. Now, I have here a container of hulled oats. Now, I don't actually feed this to the Gouldians at all during the year. Only time I feed it is when they're feeding young. Now, this stuff it's a very heavy seed, and to be honest, I'm not even sure if the Gouldians would eat it in its sort of raw form. But all I do is when I do have young ones in the nest, I get a little scoop of it and I add it to my sprouted seed mixes. Now, I don't add a lot of it, but obviously once it's sprouted, it becomes very soft. So yeah, I basically just add one scoop every time I'm doing a little bit of a sprout. I just put a little bit more in there. So yeah, that's one thing I do to give the young ones, give them a little bit more bulk. And you'll see usually my Gouldian finch young are quite large in size, which I think is always a really good thing. Have nice, big, strong breeding stock. So that's just one little trick that I do when I do have young ones in the nest, but only when I have young ones in the nest. And then probably I keep up a daily sprouted seed mix for probably about a month after the young ones have left the nest as well. And then I start cutting back, and I start giving us a slightly different diet during the year after or post breeding, and I will go through that in another video. But at the moment, of course, they're feeding the young ones quite a bit, and they're going through a lot of food. So that's just one little trick that I do. And as I said, I don't recommend feeding that seed during the year because I think it might put a bit too much weight on the birds. But when they've got young ones, yeah, that's something I do. Now you can do that with any of your birds. It doesn't have to necessarily be Gouldian finches, but it is one trick I've learnt over the years to do, specifically with my Gouldians. But I do it with any of my finches, really. I like to give them the sort of larger seeds that they're probably not going to be eating in a sort of the softer version when they're eating the sprouted seed, which they will absolutely devour when they have young ones. And you'll know when they have young ones because it'll all be gone. It'll absolutely be devoured. Now, one other thing I've started just using now, and I haven't used it before, is a Paswell product. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, which I'm sure you have, you're probably not just coming to this video. You've probably seen the other ones. I love the Paswell company. They make fantastic products. I trust them with all of my birds. I've never used this product before, and it's called the Good Oil. Essentially, what it is an an oil. It's an omega-3 and 6 blend. Now, it has quite a few ingredients, and I'm just going to show you here. So obviously, it has vitamin E, D, A, and a few different acids, and that's per each mil. And I'll just show you here. Basically, you just add it to your seed mix. I don't do 1 kilo. Now it says per kilo here, so I do 500 grams, which is one of my seed bowls, and I halve that 15 mils to 7 mils. I probably do about 7.5 to be honest. But essentially all you do, I put my 500 grams of seed into this jar here and pour this oil on. It is an oil, so it's quite thick. I put it into this jar. I mix it around with a chopstick, get it mixed in, and then I put it into my seed bowl and I let that sit for at least 4 hours. It does say at least 4 hours at room temperature. And then you know the seed has absorbed that oil. And then I just use that as one of my seed bowls. Now, I have previously showed you when my birds are pre-breeding and breeding, I use 2 seed bowls to show them that there's a lot more food. So I've tried this out now. One of the bowls has seed treated with the good oil and the other seed bowl doesn't, just to give them a choice. I believe the birds would be eating from both. I don't really have any proof or data for that as yet. I've literally only just started using this. So I will do a future video on this and how exactly I use it, because I like to show you guys exactly how I use things. But I just wanted to let you know this is something I'm trying out. So it does say on here it helps to improve the health of birds and eggs. So I probably started giving this a little bit too late, but I think I'm going to start using this all through the year. As one of those seed bowls, look, it generally lasts a week with two of the seed bowls in there or something. So I did contact the manufacturer of this, who are great as well, really always gets back to you and helps you out with any questions. And they said it's good just to leave that seed in there until it's consumed, so there's no sort of expiry once you use it. You can probably hear the Gouldian finches in the background getting pretty excited at the moment. They're coming out, eating, chirping, and then heading back and feeding the young. So it's a really exciting part of the year. So yeah, I just wanted to show you a couple of things that I'm doing. Obviously, I'm upping the green seed as well. I'm actually about to go and pick some more now, put that in there. The young ones really, and the birds benefit from that. I'm still giving all my liquid vitamins in the water. I'm giving them their sprays of millet. I'm probably giving them as much as they'll eat of that right now, as they are eating a lot more. So the eggs probably hatched a few days ago. Now, one thing, I'm not sure if I've mentioned it before, but whenever I get new birds and they breed for the first time, I don't do any nest inspections, and I just leave them to it. I wouldn't say it's a superstition, but it's something I've done for maybe the last, I'm actually not too sure. Probably since the last birds I really inspected the nests of were my Western Rosellas, and I might put a link to the video below. I actually did a time-lapse video on the young ones from eggs to hatching and to coming out of the nest. It's quite a cool video. That was probably the last time I really went from go to woe, inspecting the nest every day and handling the young ones. It's not really something I do so much with Gouldians. But always, my golden rule now pretty much is when my birds breed for the first time, I just let them do their thing. And then the second time they breed, I'll be a lot more nosy. So in the future, I may do a video more on, inspecting the nest and showing the eggs and young ones, etc. But yeah, so I hope you enjoy this video. The next part of the video, fingers crossed and all things going well, will be when the young ones leave the nest. And I can show you a bit of video of some young Gouldians in the aviary. I'm really excited about this and can't wait to show you. So thanks for watching the start of this video and checking out the things that I'm just doing a little bit extra of at the moment. So essentially I'm just upping the quantities of food and trying to give the young ones as much of a head start as possible. So on to the next part of the video. Okay guys, well as you will have seen in those short clips, I have a few youngsters out of the nest now. Yeah, really happy this day has finally come. It's been quite a journey now. It's now the end of April, and of course I started the video series, as you know, back in October. It was when I bought my original stock. So the birds did breed a little bit late, and it's starting to get a little bit cool, the weather. Here in Melbourne. Just had a bird fly over there. Just try and get some footage of the little chicks here for you. So I currently have 7 chicks, which is fairly decent. 7 is the most I've had previously, and yeah, I've got 7 this time. So I've got the one down there with the parents. I'm going to try and do a bit of a video of all of them here. I've got the 3 youngest ones down here that of course followed their older siblings out a bit early, and they're all down in the nesting material tray at the moment, keeping warm, and they're sleeping out there at the moment. They are able to fly. This one probably, attempt to point here. This one down here is probably the older one of the 3. That one is flying around, but yeah, they've decided to stay down there. Now they may be dilute or cinnamon blues, I believe, or some form of cinnamon or dilute anyway, by the look of their colours. I have 2 down the back currently that are a bit scared. I think this is the first time I've really come in the aviary with them flying around. They've been going back in the nest box. And the other chick just decided to fly up there with the parents. So there you have it. I've got quite a mix of both your standard green Gouldians, blues, and dilutes in this nest, which is really cool. I know the breeder that I bought the birds off is specifically breeding for cinnamon these days. He has some beautiful birds, and yeah, I believe might have picked up one of his bloodlines here with the with the lighter coloured birds. So they're going to be quite interesting to see when they colour up, which is quite some time away, as Gouldians need to go through their molting process to colour up. So that will be a video for another day. So yeah, at the moment I've just got some millets, some green seeds, and my tonic mix here. The parents are really still hoeing through the sprouted seed, so I'm doing that every day for them at the moment, just while the young ones they're having to feed so many young ones. And of course they're going through a lot of the normal seed now, which they're trying to give the young ones at this stage. And they're probably the oldest chicks aren't probably far off starting to eat for themselves, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this is a really great time when you see the fruits of your labour and all the work you've put in, seeing some healthy chicks, and yeah, seeing the parents being so excited when you come to the aviary with fresh food for them. And yeah, they really love their chicks, and yeah, I'm really happy to specifically have got Gouldians again to breed these blue birds, and to successfully do it, and building this aviary specifically to house them and to breed them in is very satisfying. And yeah, all the mornings I've got up early to give them fresh water and sprouted seed and check on them. Yeah, this is when it's so awesome, and I'm so happy to share this video series with you. And I'm sorry a lot of the videos have been so long, but I really wanted to give you a detailed look at how I do breed Gouldians and everything that I do and the whole process. And I hope you've enjoyed it, and it's given you some kind of new information, or perhaps you've just watched it for a bit of fun, or perhaps now you've inspired to watch to breed your own Gouldians. Give you another
bit of a look at these guys down here. This guy, the older one, is very cheeky. He's always staring at me like that.
Okay, so I'm going to end this video here. I don't want to disturb them too much. Like I said, the young ones are still getting a bit used to me. So I'm going to, after I finish talking, I'm going to leave you with some footage, probably over the next couple of weeks, of the young ones starting to fend for themselves a little bit, and a little bit better video of all the birds together. As yeah, like I said, they've only really just come out of the nest as a family, so they don't really quite understand what they're doing and what's going on. But yeah, thank you so much for watching up to this point. And the following video in the series will be really how I keep my birds in the non-breeding season, which is quite different to the rest of the seasons. As yeah, Gouldians really, they're very much a product of the seasons. And yeah, I'm gonna take you through what I do in the non-breeding season. So that will be the next video in the series, and possibly the last video of this series. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll keep watching at the end of this video for a bit more footage. I really appreciate all my subscribers and viewers, and I hope you'll check out the rest of my channel. But I'll leave it there for now, and I'll catch you in a video soon. Bye for now.